Hello again, all of my YouTube people. It is Red Rider here again, as you all know. And in today's video, we have put together a slideshow of all of the photos that you guys have taken the time to send me of your motorcycles. So this is the first episode of Red Rider's Viewers Rides. And not to be confused with Easy Rider's Readers Rides. I'm sure you all remember that magazine, definitely from before my time, but I remember those magazines kicking around at my uncle's place, and I used to always love reading that Readers Rides section of the magazine and just seeing all the pictures in there of like the average people with their bikes in a big popular magazine. So this is Red Rider's Viewers Rides. And I want to thank anyone who has sent me a photo of their bike, because I feel like it really helps me to connect with you guys as an audience, and it really helps me to just kind of gauge what my audience is like, because I believe that people's personalities kind of show through in the bikes that they ride, and you guys all kind of get to see what I'm like, and you get to see my bike and all that, so it's easy for you guys to imagine what I'm like. But I just kind of have to imagine what you guys are all like based on your comments and stuff. So thank you all for sharing your photos with me, and let's just get into this slideshow. If any of you have watched any of my past videos, you've probably kind of assumed that it's my dad who got me into motorcycles, and you have assumed correctly. So my dad, since the time I was a baby, has basically always either worked in or operated his own custom motorcycle shop. So my dad's a self-taught fabricator, and he has basically been doing that since the time that I was an infant. He's a journeyman painter, but motorcycles have always been his passion, and he eventually, by the time I was born in 1992, he had made it possible to kind of turn that into his career. So I'm very familiar with bikers and bikes and all of that. I just grew up with having that all around me all the time, and I just always really loved it. Not only did I just love the motorcycles, I just loved the community that came along with it, and how we all kind of felt like family, and I really had an extended family just within that community, and which I still do, because a lot of those people who I grew up around are still in my family today, and there's still people who I consider to be family, like just as much as my blood family. So my parents had 8 kids together, and of all 8 of those kids, I'm the only one who currently owns and rides a motorcycle. And of all the motorcycles that I could own, I chose a kickstart only shovel head. So I didn't ever really imagine myself as being a motorcycle rider as a kid growing up. I just never really thought that it was something that I would do myself. I didn't really feel like women really rode very much, so I just never really thought about that as being something that I would ever grow up to do. But as a teenager, I loved riding my bicycle around. I had a little banana seat, like 1960s lowrider Schwinn bicycle that I would ride around, and I remember my dad always telling me, like, you need to get a motorcycle, you would love riding motorcycles and stuff, and I would just kind of brush it off, like, no, you know, Dad, I'm never gonna ride, I'm okay with being on the back. And yeah, obviously that all changed. So kind of later into my teens, I started riding this little 49cc dirt bike up and down the back alley in the neighborhood that we lived in. And so I would just spend like an hour or two just riding literally back and forth in the back alley here. And I got bored of just riding back and forth. I wanted to go faster and further. And that was really when I decided that, yeah, I need to go get my motorcycle license. So I went and got my motorcycle license. It was about a 2-month process because I already had my driver's license at the time. And after getting my motorcycle license, I started out on this little 200cc bobber style crate bike that we had ordered from California, actually, from a company called Kicker 5150. That little crate bike was my very first experience on the road on a motorcycle, and that was a kick only motorcycle as well. And then I spent about a year on that thing. I basically broke that motor in, and then I switched from the 200cc bobber to a Yamaha XT250 that my dad had turned into like a little cafe racer style bobber for me, which was also kickstart only. And I spent probably 3 years riding around on that thing. During that whole time, I had been saving up money and tracking down parts to complete my shovel head. The shovel head, which I originally bought as a basket case, and the only thing that I still have from that original package is the engine and the transmission and the whole primary setup. So the shovel head has been on the road for about 5 years now, and I have just completely enjoyed riding this thing around. And I would never be able to go to something else. I love Harley Davidsons. I love the way they sound. I love the way they feel. And I plan on sticking with Harleys. And yeah, that is my story. That's how I got into riding. And hopefully that kind of gives you guys all a little more insight as to my passion for motorcycles. And I think that that is the end of this video now. So with that, I am just going to thank you all again for being on my channel. And I'm going to end this video, as I end them all, by saying, if you like what you see, or if you just like me, or even if you don't like me but you like my bike, then please comment on this video, like this video, and subscribe to my channel. And if you would like to see your bike in the next episode of Red Rider's Viewers Rides, then please email me a photo of your motorcycle to the email address in the description of this video, and I will catch you all on the flip side. Peace.